Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today I want to show how you can start a Tales of Tribute card game quest line, and we will go through the tutorial together so you understand how the game works. Plus I will also add a few comments because not everything is clear when you actually do the tutorial. So first off, we gotta get to the High Isle Anomalous Zone, down to Gonfalon Bay, and in the middle here we have the Gonfalon Square Way Shrine. Once you're here, just jump over the ledge, get to the bridge, and there will be a note. Pick that one up. Seeking new members, start the Tales of Tribute. And now they want us to go to the... They want us to talk to Bragas over the bridge. And here he is, you can't really miss him, and he's marked anyway. Talk to him all you can. So the next step activates and get into the house. I'm just gonna speed run this. You wanna get to the tutorial. Talk to Master Razamad. Yeah, he basically tells you, okay, gotta do a few things, and now we go to the tutorial. Now we're going to start the tutorial. Let's play. This is the deck. Let's see if he actually says something.
Lots of cards, eh? The ones on your side of the table are yours. The ones on my side are mine. The cards in the middle are what we call the tavern. We each claim cards from the tavern to improve our play decks and earn enough prestige to win. You'll take the first turn. Let's both draw our starting hands.
This is all automatic until now.
Cards have a coin value, see? You can use their coin value to buy cards into your play deck from the tavern, the center of the table. Try to keep track of the value of the cards in your hand. Each card has a cost, a suit, and an effect. If I were you, well, this card here seems like the right one for you to buy with the coin that you have, so claim it.
So basically, these here are mine cards on this side. These here are the NPC's card, and the tavern is basically the middle zone where we can buy cards. So he could buy cards and I can buy cards. Now, I do have 5 cards here. They all give me 1 gold. So I can actually pick these up, and then you will see that the gold. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when we look at this card costs 6 gold, so I actually can't afford it. This card costs 7 gold, so I can't afford it. This card 7 too, I also can't afford it. But I can actually buy this one for 3 gold. And you can see play effect when I actually get this in my deck and then I draw it from my draw deck and I activate it, I do get 2 gold instead of just 1 from these others here. As well, if I have 2 red cards, I also gain 2 power, and if I have a free combo, I get 3 power in the end. So I pick this now.
When you buy a card, you subtract its cost from your coin total, and you get the card. Then a new card replaces that card in the tavern. You still have enough coin to buy another card, so let's do that.
So he said I bought this card, then a slot opened and like the tavern picks up a new random card, and this is basically what got picked. Let's do the same thing for this. This one, the Porculus, also a fairly good one, gain 2 power. Combo, gain 1 gold.
Now, you can't play a card you bought right away. When you buy a card, it goes into a cooldown pile here, see? You can see at a glance what card suits are in your cooldown pile. It looks like you don't have enough coin to buy any other cards, and there's nothing else you can do at the moment. When that happens, you signal that your turn is over.
So now I had 5 gold, I used 3 gold to buy this, and I used another 2 to buy this. I don't have any gold over. The gold disappears anyway after each turn. So now I'm gonna end the turn. get new
Any
cards.
resources you have at the end of your turn will be cleared once your turn is over, except prestige, that is. Once your turn ends, you discard your cards and draw 5 new ones. You can start to plan your next turn while I take mine. That said, you should always keep an eye on what your opponent is up to on their turn. They might buy a card or take an action that will force you to revise your plans. So now, it's my turn. I'll control the table until I signal the end of my turn. See if you can figure out my strategy based on my actions.
Let's see what he does. Bought the claw. And another one. So it looks like...
Well, the cards you drew gave you both gold and power. Power has 2 uses. The first is combat, but it also turns into prestige at the end of your turn. Remember, earning prestige is how you win.
So he is most likely, like he has 3 of these, what do you call it? Lila, purple, whatever, violet, I guess in English. 3 of these colors, so he could probably also do some combos. It is always good to go for 1 color because otherwise it's too much, right? But anyway, now it's my turn again. And he talked about prestige and power, but it's not highlighted here. So prestige is this. If you have 40 points, you win, right? Unless the other guy actually like gets higher points in the next turn, then it keeps going until someone can't be overtaken anymore. Prestige stays, and then there's also power. One of my cards, so this card here, I can pick it and then I get 1 power. Let's pick the others. 1 gold, 1 gold, 1 gold, and another gold. So now I have 4 gold, 1 power.
Currencies get cleared when you end your turn. Well, power doesn't carry over between turns. But when you do signal the end of your turn, any power you have left over turns into prestige. Good to know, eh? See these little guys? They're our patrons. Each deck comes with its own patron, and they play an important role in how the deck works. See? Each patron has something they want. A price, let's call it. They also have something to offer. A reward. Pay a patron's price, and you'll get their reward. You have to pay the price all at once, and you usually get the reward immediately. Try paying one of these patrons. Whichever one you choose to pay will offer you a boon. Just keep in mind, you're only allowed to pay 1 patron per turn. They can get a little jealous.
Okay, back to it. Once again, like if you end the turn, gold disappears forever. So you want to spend as much as possible. Power will be transferred into prestige. So if you have 1 power, it will be transformed into 1 prestige, right? But gold is lost forever. Then there is also patrons. There's a total of 8. Let me actually check out ESO Hub real quick. When we go to the website, here is the Tales of Tribute card game. We have all the decks, all the upgrade cards, it's all here, right? In the game right now, we have Duke of Crows. We can take a look at that one, Duke of Crows. You can basically see what it all does. Black Feather Brigand, it's like all the cards are here. Some decks are combined by fragments, so you have to farm the fragments to get the deck. Some require you to clear an achievement and so on. We have all the guides here already. So, now in the case of Duke of Crows, pay all your gold. Gain power equal to gold paid -1. So we basically can pay 4 gold and then we get free power in return, right? You can only use this patron as long as he is not favored to you, because you can't just spam this. This is a very powerful patron. Like sometimes you could stack 18 gold, 19, 20 gold in later game. And then you could use him to get 19 power immediately. And then you will have 19 prestige, something like that, right? And you only need 40 to win. Obviously, there's also cards that give a lot more power. Like this here. This is one of the most overpowered cards in my opinion. It might get nerfed. Gain 1 gold, gain 5 power. If you have 2 of these cards, you can basically get 10 to 12 power per turn. And it will be game over after 4 turns, right? Like once you have these. Obviously, you need to buy these cards. It costs 5 gold. There's another one, Saint Peline. Pay 2 power. Have 1 ancient card in your cooldown pile. Return 1 ancient card from your cooldown pile to the top of your deck. Basically, if you have used an ancient, you can pay 2 gold and ancient will go back to your draw card. Now, ancients aren't actually explained in this tutorial. Let's see, they only have the action type. There is 4 different card types in this game. The action ones, so when you look at the top left side of the tooltip, it says action. When you actually buy this card and it goes into your stack, you can reuse it as much as possible. Then there's also contract action cards. They disappear after you use them 1 time. Then there is ancient cards. Ancients can be set active when they're placed here, basically. And then they will stay here and give you benefits as long as the other player doesn't kill them. Like now I have 1 power, and if an ancient card was here, I could use the power to attack the other agent from the other NPC. Because they have health. So I use 1 power, I damage 1 health of it. That would be one option that I have. Then there is also contract agents. They only can be used once, and if they get killed, they will disappear forever. Yeah, similar here. You can actually only use this patron when the enemy has an agent active, and you need to pay 4 gold, so the agent disappears. Then this patron here, you can sacrifice a card. So if I had this card in my deck, I could sacrifice it. It costs 7 gold. Gold costs 7. And it tells me gain prestige equal to the card's cost -1. So I would end up with 6 prestige. Okay, now let's do what the tutorial wants us to do. We have 4 gold. I'm gonna use this.
The patron you just paid, notice anything different about them? They favour you now. All patrons start in a neutral bent, and then show favour to whoever pays them first. Of course, you can pay a patron that favours your opponent. If you do, that patron will become neutral. Pay them again on a later turn, and then they'll favour you. And here's a tip. If you ever can get all patrons on the table to favour you, you'll win the game. Even if you have less prestige than your opponent. Just one more thing to keep an eye on. Alright, you need to draw new cards, but your deck is empty. Now we shuffle your cooldown pile, and that becomes your new draw pile. You might draw cards you bought last turn, as well as those you started with.
So basically, Duke of Crows is now favored to me, and now it says unusable, not available. So I can't actually use him until the other player uses this one. There is other players, patrons, that I can reactivate as many times as I want, right? But basically, if all patrons look to my side, I win. So you really gotta be careful. Yeah. If you're not paying attention too much, if you're too focused on the cards, it might be that the other player flips all the patrons to his favor and then he will win automatically. So you gotta play against that. Now, he also said, I don't have any cards in my draw pile anymore. The cooldown pile will be reshuffled and be placed to the draw side. Look at the 4 power. This will now be transferred into prestige when I click end turn.
Your cooldown pile is empty. That means all the cards you started with or bought during play are now in your draw pile. Right, it's my turn again. I'm going to draw some coin, use it to buy a card, and draw some power from my play deck, which will become prestige when my turn ends. Just like your turn, only, more experienced. Those cards you drew can trigger a combo. See how they have extra effects if you draw another card that matches their suit? Luckily, you bought cards with the suit you need to trigger these combos. Some of the most powerful effects on cards come from combos, and a card will tell you how much of each suit you need to activate its combo effect. Great players always try to trigger combos, so keep track of those suits. We're closing in on the end. I can tell by keeping track of the prestige we've earned. For this practice match, we're keeping the total small, but in a real game, you'll need more prestige to win.
Okay, so let's just use the gold first, and now we're gonna do a combo. So I use this, I gain 1 power, the red card. Basically, like, this red card belongs to Saint Pelin, pretty much, it's his deck. Now we're gonna use the Porculus, so we gain 2 power, and because I have placed the red card, we have 2 red cards, so I get a combo 2, so I also gain 1 gold. So 2 power, 1 gold. And then we activate the last one to trigger the combo 3. So I'm actually not sure. Now we get 2 gold, we get maybe 2 power and 1 power. Let's actually see. Yeah, okay, so both effects procced. Yeah, I wasn't sure. So gain 2 gold, gain 2 power, gain 1 power, because we activated 1 red card, a second red card, and a third red card, and all the combos will proc. So now I can't use this one anymore because it's still favored to me, otherwise I will just transfer the gold into power. I could buy this card. I can't buy anything else because they're all higher, like they cost too much. So I'm gonna buy this. Yeah. Always try to use as much of your gold as possible because it disappears at the end of your turn. Now I have 6 power. This will be transferred into prestige and then I will win. Let's see. Oh yeah, maybe one more thing, the treasury. So here, sacrifice a card. Pay 2 gold. Create a Writ of Coin card in your cooldown. So because I have leftover gold, I can use this. And then I can change this gold card, which only gives me 1 gold, into a card that says Writ of Coin, and it gives me 2 gold instead, right? So you can constantly flip these like low bob level 1 gold cards into 2 gold. If you have 5 of them, that would be 10 gold per turn, obviously, which is very helpful. Now we've done everything.
Ah, a grand victory! Well, maybe a little too grand. Go talk to Master Razamad and tell him you bested me. Just don't get cocky. Next time won't be so easy.
The tutorial is fairly hard to understand, especially because like they don't even tell you, like they don't tell you about the different card types, like action card, contract action, agent, contract agent. It's a little bit weird, and I do hope they will improve this. I will also upload videos on just matches where I explain what I'm doing. In most cases at the moment, people are very confused after they play tutorial, but then after like 3-4 matches they start to understand how the game works, and most of the people I talk to, they actually really like the card game. Okay, game over. Like I mentioned before, on eso-up.com in the Tales of Tribute section, so you can either access it through the secondary bar on desktop, or you go to general game info and it's up here, Tales of Tribute, on mobile, like in the mobile menu. We have all the 8 founders, plus the treasury, all here. So like, wait, which one was? Yeah, Celerus. Well, that's Saint Pellin. We had Saint Pellin, right? And here are all the cards. We saw this card here, what it does, and so on. You can also click on the separate cards to get on that page as well. And of course, we also do have guides for different things. Like this deck, you basically need to farm certain stuff to get it. There's also a card game guide and so on. We're still working on a few things here. But that's pretty much the tutorial. I hope I could explain things a little bit better than Bragas, or make it a little bit more clear. But anyway, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Cheers.